Pathfinder's righteous wrath calls once again amidst the city wreathed in pain. High lore brings a hireling in, a heart so bold for us to win. In Kenabres amid demonic glares, we meet others who the world has ensnared. In library black of wing and soot, an elderly elf seeks the wisdom of books.
Alright there, it's your old mate Yorkie here, welcoming you back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous on our evening show, where so far we've worked our way through the shield maze, having had Kenabres attacked by Lord Descari and his minions. We've made our way back to the surface and met everyone in the Defender's Heart. And we've helped Woljif resolve his problem through the Thieflings, his family, quote-unquote. We did, alright, hire Naira Redblade off channel. A kineticist, base kineticist, uses Earth at the moment. We'll get other stuff later on as well. From Hilo. And I think I should let a little gnomish friend introduce herself. Back in a moment.
Used to be, I lifted purses. Now, I lift walls. Name's Nika Redbraid. I'm quick with my hands, quiet on my feet, and when I really focus, I can make the earth skip a beat. Didn't come from a noble line or a proper school. I came from alleyways and cellar doors that didn't stay locked long. Then one day, I stopped picking things up and started knocking them down. Call it a gift, call it magic. Call it what happens when a gnome gets fed up with being looked down on. I don't make speeches. I don't give warnings. I move the ground. And I smile while it does the rest.
And there you have her. Now, with the team full now, I think it's time to head out to the city.
We march ahead.
As I said in the opening, I want to go do the library and start working on the city proper and see what else we can do. Come on. There we are. She is skilled, let me get out and I'll show you, she's skilled with stealth, which probably isn't going to be used a lot, but might have some impacts in some areas, so I need one character on it, and trickery, which means I don't, strictly speaking, need Woljif, and I don't need Camellia. Camellia I was going to get rid of anyway at some point, because I don't like her in this character. Let's go to the market square. I think I need to turn the music volume down a little bit. We get in here, then I'll do that. Oh yeah, I said I was going to show you her, didn't I? Trickery and stealth is the main thing. Not very good on much else, to be honest. That's okay. It's a gnome, a base kineticist, as I say. Earth Blast. Flesh of Storm. Not much else to really say about that right now. And of course, she's going to be a kinetic blast as her attacks. So, let's get back to it and let's change the options, sound, music volume. It's just a wee bit loud, it's deafening me. Make sure that we're in the right marching order. That looks good to me. Now, how do you know that this was done by ChatGPT? Because the first feat it gave her, I only let this set up level 1. The first feat it gave her was spell penetration on an Earth Elementalist. Yeah.
This is my kind of work.
His enormous cracks appeared after a magically induced earthquake. Yeah, we know who did that, don't we? No! I'll tell you everything, just don't hit me. I never stole nothing. I only just joined the team. Oh, he's one of your friends. The tiefling gestures back the way he came, as if that explains something. It was all of them, back there. They found an underground passage to the Grey Garrison, and they've been nicking stuff out of there ever since. Low down thieving Torags, that's what they are. You're one of them, dude. But I had nothing to do with it, I swear. Brother God, is that you? Brother Waljeff, I thought you pegged it into the best jail. Happy to see you too. An underground garrison, passage to the Great Garrison. Tell me more. Right, so the temple around here, the Temple of Iomade, has a cellar and a passage leads from it right to the Great Garrison. The Tieflings, my pals, damn a lot of them. Interesting way to talk about your pals, but carry on. I've been using this passage on and off, sell all sorts of stuff to the soldiers in the Great Garrison. So when the demons burst into the city, we thought we'd check up on the Great Garrison too. See how the soldiers were faring. See if there was out to nick, you mean. And to offer our assistance. Don't give me that look. This is the first I'm hearing of this. Tieflings keep secrets from each other too, you know. No, I'm not going to rob him like that. Take from the dead, yeah. Take from people who, you know, and so on, to help us do things. Although he is running, so maybe I should. You know what? He's not getting involved with anything. I'll let you go, but first you'll have to pay me. 112. I'll give you everything I've got. Just don't kill me. The tiefling hurriedly turns out his pockets. So why are you afraid of me? You're one of them crusaders, aren't you? You lot hate our guts, the tieflings, I mean. You lock us up and do worse to us. The tiefling gasps loudly. But I'm not a tiefling, not you just said you were. Is there some way I can help you? Now you've helped us. Yeah, let me go, please. Alright. Who are you? Give me a name. An honest guy who's followed. You're not even giving me a name. The tieflings, the local thieves around here, they forced me to join their. Bullshit. Just don't hand me over to the best valiant crusaders, please, in the name of all the gods that ever were. Got here, he's a new addition to the tieflings. So far, he's swiped around 5,000 gold. He's got a long way to go before he catches up with me, mind. They made me do it. Stop lying. Just get out of here. Cheers for letting me go like this. I'll remember you in 100 years. I will. I'll name my firstborn after you. I didn't even give you my name. Under your stare, the tiefling falls silent and then runs off. He's gone.
Our path leads on.
I got the pipe fox. Where's mine?
I stand ready.
Should be out somewhere. I don't know where.
Yet another obstacle. Yes.
You know what? Let's just go. And one more.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Alright, let's see what was going on here. By the order of command of Kenabres, we are searching the city and helping the wounded. I used some more of my healing powers for today. I should have prayed harder to Iomade. Don't fret, we got you out of the pickle. This must be the bridge that we were told about.
Thanks, Lan.
Nice work, Lan. Now, let's get back out and go to the library, because that's the first thing I want to get done. Let's see if we can rescue the guy down here. The blind elf. Someone's on the road, get ready. I'm 6 below, I can take one. Did that? It just did 2. Oh dear. Actually, I didn't put you on burn.
Friendship lasts forever.
Bowling thingy. Point blank shot. And then that.
I will guide us.
Who's this one?
Wearing a robe? Check. Baphomet symbol around the neck? Check. Crazy eyes? Check. Note to self. Bring a mirror next time to be able to adjust the optimal level of eye craziness. Everything is ready for the experiment.
The one produces a crinkled piece of paper from her sleeve and takes notes.
An audience. Problematic, but not critical. You there, girl. Stay out of this. It is counterproductive to stand in the way of scientific progress.
Who are you calling girl? Oh, apparently she's not talkative.
Who's that? I don't know her.
Greetings, boys and girls. I am your sister in sin, a devotee of Lord Baphomet's dark will, and so on and so forth.
She looks like one of us, but she talks kinda weird.
Kinda.
Who's there with you?
The cultist finger points your way.
Who? Oh, them. Just an audience. They don't matter. Consider them a supplementary component of the coming experiment.
Let's see what she's doing.
In the name of our Lord Baphomet, please be so kind as to undertake a little test of your competency in our wicked cause.
I mean, she's obviously not a member of Baphomet's cult.
Let's start with something simple. So here's my first question. What is Lord Baphomet's favorite weapon?
We will not answer to you.
Our Lord can wield any kind of weapon. He is all-powerful.
Yeah, but she asked which was her favourite.
Wrong. He wields no weapons at all. He doesn't need any. He just gores his enemies with his horns.
Actually, it says a glaive made of red adamantine.
That is correct. But still, girl, no prompting, please.
I didn't prompt them, they got it wrong.
This experiment has taken quite a surprising turn. I would never have expected the followers of the great Baphomet to be baffled by such a simple question. Fine. Let's recalibrate the difficulty and proceed with the next question. Please name Lord Baphomet's sacred animal.
A bull. Of course, everybody knows that.
Yeah, not quite.
Yep. And a cow.
Nope. It's an aurochs, as a matter of fact.
I'd like to ask you to stop prompting them, but it seems they could do with a prompt or two.
Throws a vague glance our way.
It appears the experiment has yielded results which are as unexpected as they are incredible. Baphomet's cultists have not the slightest idea about who Baphomet really is, let alone any in-depth knowledge of his ideology or philosophy. I'm positive that this news will cause a sensation in widest scientific circles.
Damn it. She's right. I'm a shitty excuse for a cultist. And my mother used to tell me to become a plowman.
I mean, honestly, I'm not sure anyone's going to be surprised by the knowledge that hangers-on are idiots.
Hey, take it easy. We've only had 2 questions. You there, come on, ask another one.
Go on,
We'll
ask
get
him.
the next one.
Ask him some more, he might still manage it.
Is there any sense in continuing? You cannot answer the simplest of questions. I am ashamed of all of you, as cultists and as individuals.
Please, ask again. I can answer. I'm sure I can.
Oh, yeah.
How do you spell Baphomet's name?
B-A-F-A... Oh, screw it. To hell with Baphomet. I thought it was gonna be fun.
Yeah,
but
not for you.
instead, there are all these questions.
Not for this lot in a
I'm
minute or
done
two either.
here. I'm going back to my home village, back to my mother.
Hey, wait! You there! How dare you stir up discord in our ranks? Grab her and tie her up And her entire entourage, too!
The experiment is complete. Unable to deal with the questions, the cultists decide to deal with the examiner instead. A typical reaction for a person who has never been burdened with any intelligence. Now you're gonna start hitting each other, aren't you? Please, proceed. I won't interrupt.
So you cause trouble and then you say, hey, you lot deal with it. Yeah, well, we will anyway, the cultists.
Did we find trouble? No, they did.
Oh, the absence of an answer is an answer too. Well, it can be. Someone says, do you love me? And you don't answer this. Bit of a strong answer in that one, especially if it's your spouse.
The result is statistically predictable, especially considering their intelligence level. What about you, girl? Are you ready to answer some questions for the good of science? Let's proceed with the experiment. My first question is simple. Which colors does the goddess Iomade prefer?
I mean, I'm not sure you know what science is, to be honest, but it's red and white.
This answer is correct. It is comforting to meet at least one educated person in the melting pot of ignorance that is Kenabres today. Let's proceed. Did Aradin take part in any crusade before he died?
Yeah, no, he didn't. He didn't.
Your answer is correct. Aradin's death dates to 4606, and that is precisely the year when the world wound was opened. The first crusade started back in 4622. Your knowledge would make Mendev's crusaders proud.
There you go.
My final question is, what is the title that Aurilu Vorlesh bears? Is she the architect of the world wound, the lord of the labyrinth, or the border acquisitor of the shapeless abyss?
Positive that it's the architect of the world wound, which I already knew, but it's the architect of the world wound.
That's correct. Most excellent. You
If she'd
successfully
failed, I
answered
wouldn't have
all my
forced a guess.
questions. Splendid. Amazing. This is a breakthrough. I thank you for your cooperation. It seems to me that I owe you an explanation.
Kinda.
My name is Nenio. I am an explorer, a pilgrim, a yet-to-be-recognized scientific luminary, future author of the great Encyclopedia Galarianica, and rector of all Absalom's universities at once.
Ah, yeah.
Future rector, I should say. I also know several spells.
Now, can you finally tell me what you're getting at with all those questions?
It is so heartening to see you strive for knowledge. I have been conducting an experiment comparing the intellectual abilities of the average cultist with those of the average crusader.
We win.
And I must admit that you passed the test with flying colors.
Yeah.
This does offer a glimmer of hope for the future of Crusade. I have always claimed that despite the popular beliefs about the limited intellectual abilities of those in the army, at least some of them can be considered educated. It pleases me to see that I was correct.
So basically, you're trying to say I'm mediocre.
Yes.
I'll slap you. Why do you keep calling me girl? I have a name, you know.
I apologize for an injury to your ego, but your name is irrelevant on the grand scale of the universe. Thus, it cannot possibly interest me. I will forget it as soon as I hear it. To avoid unnecessary confusion, I'd prefer to not know it at all.
I mean, in the grand scale of the universe, how it's spelled Baphomet's kind of irrelevant too, but never mind. Kenabres isn't safe right now. Shall we join forces?
Do you wish to become my follower?
No, I think you should
To accompany me
follow
on
us.
my expeditions to the World Wound? To assist me in my experiments? To run errands for me? Perhaps even to write down my deepest thoughts for the benefit of future generations? Oh, how splendid! Of course, I agree. Truth be told, I have no money to pay you. But you will be aiding the progress of science, and that is its own reward.
Is it indeed? If we join forces, you'll have to follow my instructions during our expeditions.
Huh? What? Oh, yes, the dangers and these battles. Of course, I will follow your orders. I place my life in your capable hands, so I can focus on the things that really matter.
Alright, I agree.
Excellent.
But
You're hired.
just go to the
think that I
thing.
finally found someone to accompany me. 27 Crusaders before you said no. Not one of them saw the undeniable appeal of my offer.
I'm not really surprised.
Your first assignment is to take me to a safe place. I have to admit that today's experiment has left me quite tired.
Just go to the defender's heart. You'll be fine. That was the owl cat I saw running around. Something over here. One of the dead cultists there. There's something over here too.
That is quite a discovery.
I found, something.
Mostly just stuff I can sell. Nothing useful there. You're wearing leather. You can wear leather. You can wear chain. You've only got +3. You might allow +4, so that's good. Let's take this stuff off. You can use it as and when you need it. Actually, you need one there. I'm gonna leave the map so they'll.
Well, we will win this war.
You can trust me.
Why can't you cure light wounds? Oh well. You can use this. Seven points down. And head on out. New friend made. That's the second one, considering a hireling as well. Naira.
Without a doubt.
I think I called her Red Blade at first. Red Braid. There's that fine red hair she's got. And cultist. Some more stuff to pick up. Lost bag. Let's see what we've got here. Book.
Now what is that?
Oh, what's this? A griffin statue falling apart? Or transforming into an actual griffin? And running away. Can't say I blame it. Was that a griffin? I thought the... what was that?
Forwards.
The great library of Kenabres has been ravaged and wrecked in the most barbaric way. It seems that someone took perverse pleasure in smashing lamps and furniture and tearing pages out of books. Let's see about the books we picked up though. Terendelev, the Guardian of Kenabres. Guardian, sorry. Kenabres has no shortage of prominent figures, both those who have long passed away and those who still reside within the city walls. But it's safe to say that the greatest Guardian that ever was, and will be, is the Silver Dragon Terendelev. Let's hope not, she's dead. Among the metallic dragons, the silver kind in particular has high moral standards. Although, like most of their kin, they often remain indifferent to matters concerning mere mortals. They find it unbearable to watch impassively as injustice and crime are committed with impunity. Gazing down upon Galarian from above, Terendlev has seen her share of injustice and violence, but no tragedy disturbed her peace more than Bendev's war against the world. Drawn into action by her curiosity and her interest in the Crusaders that paid for others' peace with their own blood, Terendlev swooped down from the mountains and walked among the humans, taking on their form. This world must have felt so odd to her, so different from her own. Luckily for her, Terendlev was not the only dragon living amongst mortals, and the wise gold dragon Haliciliax became a mentor to Terendlev and her sworn brother Severlosh, who later mysteriously disappeared and from history and human memory. During her life among mortals, Terendlev performed many heroic deeds. She fought terrifying abyssal spawn, kept Kenabres safe from enemy onslaught, and personally saved crusaders in need. In one such excursion, she herself fell victim to demonic taint. Onlookers reported that her shining silvery armour darkened, her eyes clouded, and her speech and movement became ruthless and crude. But so great were her spirit and determination that she achieved the impossible. She overcame the seed of evil planted in her very heart and returned to good once more. Today, Terendlev is a shining symbol of resilience and stalwartness of Kenabres, which serves as a stronghold for crusades and humanity's bastion in the war against the demonic threats. Then we have the Varisian Horror. When they reached the cemetery hill, the rain was pouring. In spite of the weather and the priest's weak protests, Rigor had no intention of stopping. If his suspicions were correct, the evil that settled in the village many years ago had to be stopped as soon as possible. The local priest, whom Rigor and Mogra had approached for help in their quest, was alarmed that these strangers were accusing someone from his flock, and decided to tag along so that he could defend the innocent should the need arise. Ascending the broken stairs leading up to the ancient crypt atop the hill, Rigor quietly pulled out his blade and hid it under his soaked cloak. Once the two got to the hewn stone that served as a sacrificial altar, he spotted the gravedigger. Despite the late hour and the violent storm, he was digging a shallow grave. Before Rigor had time to intervene, the priest, prompted by a desire to clear the hermit of suspicion, went straight toward the massive, misshapen figure. The gravedigger turned his head, and at that first sight of Rigor and Mogra, started moving with speed that didn't match his proportions. He leaped far forward, and his shovel cut through the cold autumn air, striking the priest's head. Pieces of skull and bloody scraps spattered forth, and the gravedigger, letting out an unintelligible roar, lunged at the outsiders. Mogra, who had already raised her hands, froze in terror. The gravedigger's gaping mouth was filled with dozens of rows of sharp, needle-like teeth, and the sorcerer's weakened mind was struck by a murky stream of abhorrent blasphemy in an otherworldly tongue. Rigor, however, had kept his composure. Dodging to the side, he slashed the corpulent body as if cutting open a rotted, bloated shell. With a wet smack, the gravedigger's neck and chest burst open, revealing to mortal eyes the beast's true form. One of the foul worm, whose sickening body was now gushing in coils out of the now useless human frame. The cemetery keeper was an abominable, verm-like demon, created from the soul of despicable scum that in life used to defile graves and disturb the deceased in the vilest of ways. After rising from the bowels of the abyss and invading Galarian, he and his kind are always drawn to places used to excite the mind and fancies of their progenitors. And then we have Guino Pollen, notes from my travels in northern Avistam. In the knowledge that the best place to observe the effects of extraplanar energy entering our world is the region formerly known as Sarkoris, I immediately set off for that desolate land. Upon arriving in Mendev and making inquiries to find a guide who would agree to escort me to the lands bordering the Worldwound, I came up against an unexpected impediment. The local rangers and guides categorically refused to help me. Desna, however, smiled on me and led me to a local hunter. After 3 tankards of grog, he agreed to go with me to the Worldwound and show me the area. By the time he had sobered up, it was already too late to reconsider. We had passed the last cordons and had plunged deep into the forest of Sarkoris. Even thousands of miles away from Planar Rift itself, an attentive observer can discern the anomalies brought about by the Worldwound. Insignificant differences have become more and more pronounced the closer one gets. The first thing that struck me were the unnatural trees that looked as though they had all been sketched from a single exemplar. Then the quality of the air changed. It tasted different with every inhale, from sulphur to caramel, from acrid salts to spoiled herring. According to the almanacs I had consulted on my journey to Mendev, one of the first signs of the Worldwound creation was towers of black smoke billowing up from the rift. The terrifying sight above the southern steppe, and the tales my guide confirmed that the effusions of ash and poisonous fumes continue to this day, although I did not expect the air there to taste like one was standing between a confectioner's and a crematorium. As we journeyed on, we encountered the remains of dead livestock, dogs, and even people. Some skeletons bore the marks of demon claws, while others had clearly expired of rather more original causes. We even came across 2 perfectly mummified corpses that looked as though they had turned to stone. Skirting around a sparse, foreboding forest, we came upon a plain that was bisected by a series of unnaturally uniform hills. I would have been only too happy to study said phenomenon, but alas, after several paces my guide was hoisted up into the air and quite literally turned inside out. After shedding my blood-soaked frock coat and the encumbrance of my souvenirs collected on the way, I hastily withdrew. Yeah, I can't say I blame you. Padded armour. That's not going to be as good as you got. That's only at armour class 2. You can't wear it. You certainly can't wear it. You're wearing better armour. You're in better armour. And I can't wear it. Oh, I've learned stuff from the books. Well, there's one. +1 competence bonus to attacks and damage on all natural attacks. I don't really use them. The book counts +1 morale bonus to AC against dragons. Could be useful. +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls with a glaive. And this is just on me. I don't use glaives. Well, Chief, you got anything you need to copy? Yes, you do. Oh, what's going on here? A stocky knight with a head of messy black hair stands before you. His armour is spattered with blood. He greets you with a deep, booming voice. Ah, Crusaders, excellent. I'm Captain Cheleb Sazamal, and these are my men. I'm about to burn these vile backstabbers and heretics here. These pathetic imitators of the traitors Arilu, who tricked their way into the ranks of the Crusaders. The knight nods at the heap of severely beaten people, and a strange elf whose appearance seems jarring for some unknown reason. Is that that's going to be the storyteller, isn't it? Sazamal bellows threats at the prisoners, who seem to be in a state of deep shock and utter terror. A strange feeling rises up within you. It is pure instinct. You don't know what you're about to do, but you are certain that it's right. Let's have a look at perception. Cheleb is talking too loudly. all while casting sidelong glances at you. You've seen similar behaviour before, haven't you, Lan? In liars. And religion? This is my forte. You notice that the emblems on the armour of the two Silent Crusaders belong to the Order of Flaming Lance, but Cheleb's armour here bears the sigil of the Order of the Sunrise Sword. Strange that he introduced himself as their captain. Yeah, just a bit. Let's give in to this instinct. Idiot, stop! Heed my command, all in the name of Baphomet! The words fly out of your mouth, before you can even think them. Some gut instinct told you that this was precisely what needs to be said in this moment, and the words hit their target. The Crusaders jump in surprise and look at each other in terror. Chaotic action? Waldriff glares menacingly at Cheleb. Didn't you know, mortal? We're everywhere. Cheleb leaps to attention and barks out, Sorry, couldn't have known. We'll fix it right away, ma'am. An inexplicable feeling of rightness flows through you. You enjoy seeing the look of oath-faced terror on the face of the Crusader and his lackeys, they're not Crusaders, when you rebuke them for their fecklessness. Stop wasting valuable fuel. If you like burning books, go to the Great Garrison Library. Our enemies might try and sneak in there, step to it. There's plenty more where that came from, ma'am. I'll do everything you've ordered, and just as soon as these Crusaders arrive, they'll be dead meat. I'll go make sure that we get another 2 barrels of alchemist fire from the Great Garrison storerooms. Things are going to burn right up in there. Well, they're gone. Now, let's see what else is going on around, shall we? Another book. Temples of Iomedae, Father Lorien's Guide for Neophytes. Traveller, if the road ever takes you to the outskirts of Kenabres, do not shy away from taking a few more steps and entering the city proper. Apart from the ramparts and the fortifications that stand unshaken, barring the path of humanity's foes, and the noble orders that keep their watch against the force of evil, Kenabres holds a treasure of a different sort. In days of old, in the fire and the people of the Second Crusade, it became the site for the first and most crucial of the wardstones. Sacred obelisks that have the power to avert a demonic scourge, no matter how accursed it may be. No evil creature can pass betwixt two such stones that now stand along the edge of the world ruined and shelter the police of all Galarian. Even vile demonic mages are powerless against them, for the abyss cannot cross the unseen curtain of the wardstones. Should you arrive at the right time and be virtuous and respectful towards those who guard the wardstones, you shall be granted the honour of sharing in one of the rituals that support the magical strength of that holiest basilisk. This artifact and the spells invested in it are most sacred, for every wardstone was raised by the hand of Iomedae himself, the closest of her servants, the one who is selflessly devout to the Inheritor's cause and the Crusaders' great mission. And even if you cannot reach the wardstone, do honour Iomedae's splendour in one of Kenabres' churches, and pay thus your respects to the humankind's protector, and the sacrifices made by the Crusaders for the good of our world. Learn something else, let's see what. That is +1 shield bonus to AC against demons. Nice. It's not massive, but it's nice. Barrels of flam. Oh, yeah, they were going to burn this place to the ground.
Might be trapped, might be treasure.
Go look in there later. Another book. This is a lengthy one. Bear with me. The Keen Edge of Truth, Recollections and Admonitions of the Inquisitor of Asmodeus. The demon lords, whose names are known to mortals, number no more than a few dozen. Far more numerous are those who aspire to the rank, and their own abyssal realm. but who as yet are unable to make a bid for such power. There are hundreds, possibly thousands of such demons, but their names are known only to the experienced demonologists and to those unhappy fools who decide to sell their souls to the abyss and fail even to find a worthy patron for their trouble. Time and time again, one of these weaker demons will secure a resounding victory, scale the heights, or should that be sink to the depths of the demonic hierarchy, already fancying themselves a demon lord, when they soon make a misstep and die an inglorious death. The fate of such a demon could serve as a lesson to the rest, but if demons possess the capacity to learn from their own or others' mistakes, would they even be demons? No. A stubborn refusal to learn is one of the major flaws that distinguish the bedlam of the abyss from the well-ordered hierarchy of hell. The demoness Yagna, she of the sevenfold swarm, serves an example of such a fall from disgrace. One of the many daughters of Lamashtu, she possessed 7 bodies, 7 mortal women of the various races of Galarian, each with an ant's head, controlled by one hive mind. She commanded various insects, swarming, crawling creatures, with ants her especial preference. The author of these words witnessed the oath of obedience sworn by the cultist of Yagna with his own eyes. The witless initiate was forced to meditate while sitting atop an anthill. However, the human sacrifices being carried out by this fool's brethren around the little town I was serving in at the time were far from amusing. It required no small effort to destroy these cultists, who had been summoning ravenous swarms and spreading madness in the name of their mistress. So, what became of her? What fate befell Yagna? The particulars are unknown, but consensus holds that the mistress of the crawling swarm ran afoul of the master of the flying swarm, the far more powerful demon, Lord Discari. Only Lamashtu's intercession saved her daughter from death, but not from abasement and the loss of her powers. Consequently, most of her followers forsook for the cult of the Mother of Beasts. Today, Yagna is worshipped by a handful of individuals who possess a stubborn predilection for sitting on anthills, and even to them she can grant only minor spells. Yes, she seems to have lost the power. Learned something again? What's this one? +1 competence on saving throws against swarms. Not bad. The bookcase is full of text describing demons and methods of fighting them. Regrettably, all of this knowledge wasn't enough to save Kenabres. Yeah, it wasn't, was it?
I was successful.
Oh, we got another one.
Search.
Without a shadow of a doubt, expecting nothing in return, the life and feats of Lord Axelar Tresbot. By Nora Dendiwar. Nerosian Cruciform Cathedral Publishing House. Frowning, Lord Tresbot made a gesture for his people to halt. Everyone froze. No one dared to disobey his order, even one given with his eyes alone. Lord Tresbot loved to say that he could only win with his whip, when his whip frightened his soldiers more than the demon's claws, and he succeeded like no other in enforcing discipline. The Lord approached what we took for a scarecrow from afar, left in the middle of the wasteland by an unknown farmer. Pricking it with his sword, the Lord made a sign to approach. It was the body of a young crusader, a boy not 20 years old. Horribly broken, disemboweled with shards of bone sticking out and shreds of skin dangling in the wind. Horror watched us from the stake, eye sockets filled with worms. A contemptuous smirk crossed the Lord's face. Coward, he said through his teeth. Fled from the battle, the demons caught him, and he surrendered without a fight. And here are his useless followers. The Lord kicked an inconspicuous bump under his feet, and it rolled, revealing an open helmet's visor, with greenish-grey mush inside, swarming with insects. We shivered and looked down, realizing the ground underneath our feet was a mix of shards of metal and pieces of flesh. Cowards, the Lord said again. Cowards and weaklings. They were doomed even before they approached the Whirlwind. They should never have left the comfort of their homes. What did they achieve? They delivered the demons a hot lunch, that's all. Let's go. While the slugs waste their useless lives, someone has to win this ridiculous war. Without turning away or heeding the disgusting crunching sound under feet, he strode forward. We hurried after him, trying not to step on anything that was, until recently, a part of someone's body. Nothing learned from that one.
Just don't blame me.
Oh, that failed. The enormous black rift cuts the library in half. It goes so deep that one can only wonder who could have possibly wreaked such destruction. No, I think that was pretty obvious who it was, to be honest. Oh, now we had a wall down here, didn't we? A door. Let's see what's in here. There's a chest.
We march ahead.
It's
a
just
statue
not
of a
my
lean
lucky
man
day.
dressed in a wizard robe. Don't know who it is. Unfortunately, we failed that. We got a weapon, didn't we? Quarterstaff +1. And you're currently using just a quarterstaff. You can have that, man, in case you ever need it. Hey, what are you doing all the way back here? Get over here with us.
So exciting!
Just in case. Right, let's see about helping these guys out. Praise the Almighty, we're saved! A blind elf stands before you. He looks extremely strange. His face wears its years heavily, which is unusual for members of his race. Thinning grey hair, a ragged beard, sightless, milky eyes, pale, papery skin covered in age spots, a spine curved by the passage of time. This is not how elves typically age. The youth that grace the faces of elves, even on their deathbed, has totally abandoned this decrepit specimen. That is an elf with a beard. I guess the worst can be found even among the best. The old elf holds out his hand in your direction, and the perennial gesture of the blind, greeting you with an unexpectedly strong, calm voice. Hello, I am the storyteller, and I wish to thank my rescuers. That is you, if I'm not mistaken. Storyteller? It's the first I've ever heard of a venerable old-timer like that having a street name. Who are you? The old elf frowns. I prefer people to call me the storyteller. It accurately describes the sphere of my occupations and interests. In most of the places I have been, I am known by that name. There's a griffin statue here. It suddenly came to life and flew away. Do you know anything about it? The griffin stood in this library for decades, but only today did it take flight. Why? I do not know, but I am glad his ancient slumber came to an end. The elf smiles at his thoughts. There's a long story behind him, and yet the real tale is only beginning today. No, I will not reveal his secrets. I think your paths will cross again, so you can ask him. I want to talk about something. The old elf responds with dignity and courtesy, but firmly. In thanks for my rescue, I will, of course, render you a service in turn, whatever it may be. However, at this moment, I wish to be somewhere safer than the present surroundings. My recent adventures have fatigued me greatly. I would be grateful if you could help me to a safe shelter of some kind. The stubborn set of the elf's mouth tells you that he won't change his mind. Typical. You do someone a good turn, and instead of saying thank you, they just ask for more help. Go on, old elf. Go easy on the old elf. He's had a rough go of it. Yeah, because we've had it so easy. There you go, both couples. We can't not help him. If it was up to me, Grandfather Elf, I'd throw you over my shoulder and take you out of here. This is no place for old folks. Yeah, about that shoulder bit. Not really helping. I'm taking you out to the Defender's Heart. Storyteller lowers his voice slightly. Please wait. I am not the only one thankful to you. That young crusader over there is eager to give his regards, but he is too shy. to approach you. I can tell from his quickened breathing. Take pity on the lad and accept his thanks. The young man with aristocratic features wipes the sweat from his brow and gives you a courteous bow. Allow me to introduce myself, Brother Claim, at your service. Thank you for helping us. We thought we were doomed to perish. Who are you? We are crusaders from the Order of the Flaming Lance. Our order dedicates itself to the pursuit of hidden knowledge and magical methods of fighting demons. We're searching for our leader, Sister Miamir, the scholar. She has spent the last few weeks here, working day and night on some important research. When the demons attacked the city, we rushed here to find her, but it seems she left the city shortly before the attack began. Miamir just left the city, leaving no word where she could be found. None. She left in a hurry without leaving any notes or orders. Why? I have no idea. The only thing that may serve as a clue is this book, the one she was studying. The knight holds out a leather-bound tome to you. Received my company of worn-out words, Songs of a Crusader. The statue in the library suddenly turned to a living griffin. What happened? That statue was carved in old Psychoris long before the demonic invasion. Everyone marvelled at the beauty of its fine stonework. Every feather was practically lifelike. They would say the griffin looked like it was about to spread its wings and take flight, but no one thought it would actually happen, of course. Believe me, I'm just as surprised as you are. Having said that, I do have an inkling of an idea. The knight rubs his chin thoughtfully. There was a legend in Sarkoris that mentioned an old ancient chieftain who could turn into a beast, and who vanquished thousands of enemies. Countless enemies. But one day he just vanished. It claimed he was sleeping somewhere, but would wake one day to save Sarkoris from a terrible fate. Everybody thought it was a tall tale, but obviously no shape-shifting chieftain showed up to stop the demonic horde. Perhaps the statue was that very same person slumbering in stone, waking up only now that a demon lord has come real close. He shrugs. Take my word for it. It's just a guess. I hope we get a chance to take a closer look at this griffin. How did you end up in the trap? That trader must met us at the door. He seemed a faithful, passionate crusader, and we didn't suspect a thing until he attacked us from behind and knocked us out. We didn't expect such trickery. Most of our order brethren are dead, and we were desperate to believe that this man in armour was a fellow crusader, a comrade. While we were unconscious, they removed our armour and tossed us on the pyre of books. Oh, macabre blasphemy. Yeah, it kind of is. Ain't it always the way you start thinking you might be able to trust a fella, and boom, it goes and stabs you in the back. But if you never trust anyone, then soon you become a killer just like Huldron. That's hardly better, is it? Don't start on me. Don't start on that now. Fine, you convinced me you can trust people. But only one in every dozen, I'd say, and not for very long even then. Miamir's note mentions something about a stone book belonging to the Druids of Old Psychoris. What does that mean? Stone books? The Druids of Old Psychoris used sacred trees as books. They carved their secret knowledge into the bark. When the demons came, the Druids resorted to a dark ritual that turned the trees to stone and the Druids themselves into undead, doomed to guard their stone library forever. Or Stone Grove. But that happened far from here in the Stone Wilds. Is it possible that's where Miamir went? Or maybe she found one of those trees nearby. I don't know. Well, I know who the elf is, so I don't need to ask that. Go to the Defender's Heart. Those who are ready to fight back are gathering there. The city still fights? Why, that's incredible news. We'll go to our sanctuary guarded by our Order brothers and sisters. We'll bring them to the Defender's Heart. Now it's time to get the old guy out of here.
Our path leads on.
The old elf frowns as he's listening closely to something, and then decisively turns to face you. Aliana Soulshade, is it not? I recognise you from the sound of your footsteps. Let's go to the Defender's Heart. Please accept my sincere thanks once again, and if I may, please don't rush. I'll struggle to keep up with your young legs. Let's go. Let's sell what we can. Now, Waldriff, you got anything you need to do? Yep, there's one. We'll deal with him later. I want to go explore the city a little bit. And I'll see about closing out with a chat to him. One of the reasons I want to explore the city is I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of reading. And I don't want to do too much of that all at once. She can also wait. I'm not going to go back over there. Try Silken Thread.
They choose to stand against me?
Oh yeah?
Without a doubt.
Next up. Dead duelists?
Rely on me.
Forwards.
What do we have here? The world is full of wonder.
Well, there's something here as well. Show your stuff, Red Braid.
Easy.
They will break against our
Away,
resolve.
rascal.
Attack!
Got him. Next.
Can't hide from me.
We march ahead.
Another one of these masked guys.
No challenge at all.
The absence of an answer is an answer too. Okay, so we're still saying that. $22 out of 33. You can get that. And again. Make sure to save.
Cover me, all right?
Save the last one for me. I'll cut you wide open.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Fighter coming in.
You won't survive me.
We shall overcome.
You should be using this. What are you doing?
Your time is over.
Stab you or zap you? Not both.
The spirits demand your blood.
Into the fray.
Endure this!
Nice.
Do not hold back.
You offend me.
Can you get there?
For
Nope.
me.
You're up.
You are today's sacrifice.
The light, take you. The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Make every strike count.
I think at this point we just go straight up.
This pain is excruciating.
Isn't it just?
Can we rest now?
But you survived.
No? How about now?
Our path leads on.
There's a box here. Another book. Let's have a read. Oh, what's this? And we've got this. Armour. Studded leather. 4 armour. 5 dexterity. 15 spell failure chance. So, it's an improvement for you. Apparently I can't identify that. Now, what was the book? On the nature of the divine. Can a mortal become a god? Is the very idea of blasphemy. Science relies on experience where there may be evidence presented in support. But when science encounters theology, it recoils. The term evolution has no application to the divine spark that illuminates dull matter in incomprehensible ways. The foremost example is angels, to whom we owe our existence of our virtual mortal souls. Which brings us to a paradox. A mortal soul transforms into an immortal essence. There are many such breathtaking events, which each promise a connection to the divine. Sonny Sarenrae is a perfect proof of this. The Starstone trial. desecrated divinity. Turned it into a god's exam, where any trickster with a handful of spells can avoid some traps in a deadly maze may rise to divinity. Is the nature of divinity then so sacred indeed? We really don't know what that is. Oh, I guess we'll find out.
I will guide
Some
us.
odds and ends. Now, I think what it is, from my memory from before, is for her. There we go. Bit of healing from them. They need to stand up first. Five down is enough.
Without a doubt.
And onwards. The Tower of Esra. Now, we were told not to be heroes here, so we may pop back to it later. But first of all, especially since we're fatigued, let's stop with heroes. Kenabres burns, a city that should never have fallen. Fate shows no mercy. Darkness and malevolent rage hide behind many masks, but I see them for what they are. I see them in you. I hear the echo of menacing footsteps. I feel the heat of ancient cursed rage. Old enemy, you will not escape this easily. I'm not your enemy. Servants of the Abyss, you entered the house of memory with evil in your soul. Soon you will be but a memory. Okay.
Quickens.
I'd say you were the memory in the end, wouldn't you? Vision of Eliandra. Darkness and... Oh, what's this? Whoever you are, keep quiet. There's a horde of enemies just beyond this door. Come over here. And you'll see. There's a handy way up. Keep quiet and watch. This is the best part. Get it together, idiots. No more looting. You all sit here and wait for the order to attack the defendant's heart. It's the last bastion of the Crusader resistance. We'll flatten them and claim our victory. No, you won't. Into the abyss with all the Crusades and the defendant's heart. Kailas, the city is ours already. Now it's time to enjoy the spoil. Split up into groups. Quickly. I'll tell you where to go and what to bring back. Facts, and you idiot. Go back to Baphomet. He must be missing his lapdog. Everyone here will be following my orders. I'm in charge. We won't submit to you, you dirty desecrate. So the demons are fighting among each other. Keep out of this, Kailas, or I'll curse all your extremities to wither and drop off. Everyone listen to me. What we're gonna do is looking for a fight, Faxon. Well, you got one. Well, there you go. Had enough, Worm. I'm in charge here. Kylus is the strongest. No looting, only slaughter. We're going to sit here and wait for the command to attack. The defender's heart will fall. Well,
I'd
he's
stay
back
away
up.
from there right now. The tower is the main stronghold of the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth and their allies. Going up against that many of them would be suicide. I have a better idea.
Okay.
If the demons and their mortal agents were better organized, the Crusaders would have been crushed long before now. But they're always trying to spread in every direction. Right now, in every corner of the city, there are demons like Kylus who are trying to consolidate their forces to launch a joint attack on the Defender's heart.
Who are you?
Greybor. I'm a contract killer who's been hired to kill that demon that just walloped that other one. I've tracked him all the way here, and was planning to kill him when that crowd showed up, so I had to pull back.
What do you suggest?
Don't even think about trying to take them all on single-handed. You'll be mincemeat. Better to warn the Crusaders and the Defender's heart that the demons are planning to attack.
We know.
And later, once the attackers have been taken care of, it'll be much easier to sweep through this tower and eliminate the defenders left behind.
Like when dueling with rapiers. One doesn't lunge, but waits for the opponent to strike and leave themselves open.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Or like in cards, wait for your opponent to play his hand, and then dive under the table, grab the pot, and run.
That's one way of thinking of it. Thanks for the advice. Who hired you?
I'm afraid that's confidential. As a professional, I'm obliged to keep my client's name a secret.
We could attack them together.
I have no desire to die today. If you choose to go in there, I'll take advantage of the opportunity, of course. I'll kill Kylus and get back here as quickly as I can. I'm not going to fight any of the others. I don't work for free.
The city is burning. People are dying. And you're thinking about how to fill your pockets?
Some people are like that, Sealer, unfortunately.
Yes. So what? Listen here, girl. If you're so eager to save someone, go and do it. And don't waste your breath preaching at me.
Alright, I'm gonna go.
I hope you act wisely.
I think we need to rest before we come after them. Because we are kinda tired. Also, 1805 away from a new level. I'm not going to rest right now. Because I'm not too tired to carry on, but I think I might be too tired to take them on just now. Failed to sneak.
Did we step on their toes as well?
Tactical retreat! No?
No tactical retreat needed, but you are a bit injured. So we will heal you. I'm using the light wounds at first, at least to get them down, because all potions are 0.5 pounds each. So it makes sense to get rid of more of them than to keep yourself weighted down. At least in my book. So let's go to the city proper, the market square. See what business is going on down there. Up two dretches.
Crossed the wrong
Draw the
mongrel.
first blood.
Got him. There's something down here. Enemies.
You won't survive
Defeat is
me.
not an option.
Come on, do you take another hurt? Nice.
I decree we set up camp.
Do you? I don't. Not yet. What's here? Cart is laden with possessions looted from the surrounding houses.
Hit another obstacle. This.
Crusaders fighting with best leg. Give them a hand. There you go. Anything else up here? Who's this? The elf punched up next to you is clutching a small but deep puncture wound. Her appearance is quite remarkable. Her skin is blacker than any Garundi's. Her teeth are fanged and her hair is grey as a crone's. Her crimson eyes glare at you with a gleam of malice. What are you looking at, soldier? Like what you see? The elf may have fallen victim to some wicked magic, a curse maybe? Or did her long service to the force of darkness twist her appearance? We don't know. Who are you? Giving a scrutinizing look, she says harshly, "There's no point in you knowing, soldier. Trust me, the answer would only bring you misfortune, and it still wouldn't be of any use to you. I'm a wanderer. You won't ever meet again." Who wounded you? She responds with a razor-sharp smile. Haven't you noticed? The city is burning. There's a battle going on. I was wounded by a cultist. I can heal you. With a resolute shake of her head, she barks, "Don't. I can handle it myself. I don't like it when strangers cast spells on me." Well, I can't leave you in this state, so I'll heal you. "To the abyss with you!" The elf tries clumsily to pull away, but the magic does its work, and the stab wound on her body heals quickly. Glaring at you, she mutters through clenched teeth, "Thanks for everything, but the next person who uses magic on me without my permission gets an arrow in the eye." "What's with your appearance?" "A demon's handiwork. Some shrieking spawn flew across the sky, raining corruption down on all of us. I was caught in the attack. It's fine. It'll go away soon." She shrugs nonchalantly. "Well, you seem okay. I have to go. I've got to tell me it's time I was leaving too. It's dangerous to stay here. Farewell, soldier."
Forwards.
I'm not going to assume she's evil just because she's been deformed somehow. See what else we have going on.
Our path leads on.
Someone burning a fire? Oh, some guards. Oh, what's this?
We'll make this quick. She won't feel a thing.
The hell?
I don't know. Can we really do this?
Do what?
Listen, we don't have a choice. There are demons everywhere. What else would you have us do?
A group of knights surrounds a young elven girl. She's dressed in rags and barely cover the hideous scars on her body. The beggar girl is on her knees, watching placidly, as the people argue heatedly around her. It's as if she doesn't sense the looming threat at all. A black crow flies in agitated circles above her head.
In Iomede's name, we're sorry, girl, but it is our duty. We have to do this, not for our own sake, but for the sake of everyone who can still be saved from the demons. If we don't win this battle, you won't have long to live anyway.
The hell are you doing? The knight brings his sword up above the girl's head. Stop!
They're insane.
Yeah.
We've got to do something.
We do.
I understand. You're scared. You feel powerless. You think this will help. You don't have to justify yourselves to me. Just do what you've decided to do.
Are you insane, girl? The girl smiles serenely as though she's at risk of imminent death. What's going on?
We...
The knight's hands are shaking.
Our weapons barely scratch the demon's hides. We're sacrificing this girl to Iomede so we can consecrate our weapons with her innocent blood and gain the power to destroy the spawn of the abyss.
It's extreme, but we have no other choice. We have to defend this city somehow, or else we'll all perish, including her.
I could do any of these, but that's ridiculous. You do know that, right? The teachings of Iomede directly prohibit the killing of innocents. The goddess will curse you for making the so-called sacrifice.
Exactly. What were you thinking? The goddess would never allow this.
Whose idea was this anyway? I think it was yours.
The knight looks at his comrade with suspicion.
My idea? I was against the whole thing right from the start. Who said we needed to make a sacrifice? Wasn't it you? You can't blame anyone else for that.
Please don't fight. All of you are good people, defenders of the city. You just made a mistake.
Hell of a mistake.
Don't hurt them.
The little girl is defending the people who wanted to slaughter her a minute ago. She's either a saint or she's insane.
Or both.
Hey, I know her. I see her all the time on the street. She's a couple of cards short of a full deck, if you know what I mean.
Hi. Remember when we used to play together when we were little? But then you went and got all big. And I stayed the same for some reason.
The girl waves at Waldrick with a bright smile.
Huh? I played with you? Pull the other one.
You did. We played tag and hide and seek. Then you and the bigger boys came up with the game where you all threw stones at me.
Waldrick.
You laughed so hard. It made me happy too. But then you grew up and went away to do grown-up things.
I mean, she seems to be a bit of a masochist.
For the love of... Kenabres is too damn small.
The tiefling turns away, covering his reddened face with his hand. Go to the Defender's Heart Tavern. That's where the survivors are gathering. And don't even think of doing anything so disgusting again.
Thank you.
The knights hurry away before you can change your mind.
They're gone. And they all lived. I was sure that someone would die today. So many people have died here already.
Yeah, they have.
But we are still alive for some reason. Strange, isn't it? But you shouldn't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a silly girl, really.
I don't think you're an ordinary girl. And that crow you have there? Yeah, that's not ordinary either.
No, don't be silly. I'm very ordinary. Well, I know different types of tricks, but Soot taught me those.
Tricks? You mean spells?
Now Soot here, she truly is unusual. She's clever and she can talk, but only to me. She teaches me magic tricks and lots of other stuff.
So she's a familiar.
I don't know what I'd do without her.
Magic tricks, you say? You could prove useful when fighting the demons, and I'll be able to protect you from insane soldiers on the streets. Come with me.
I must have misheard. This girl? Join our party?
Yeah.
What could we possibly want with this dirty little beggar?
Possibly more than we want with you, but we need you right now.
Let's go.
The girl gives you a smile, joyous and untroubled like a child's. Well, if you can step out. And then, let's have a look, see what we've got. Yep. And you are a stigmatized witch.
Did we find
What's
trouble?
that they have here?
They did.
Stand down.
Well, she missed.
Make every strike count.
Into the fray!
One of them's down at least.
Away, you rascal!
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
The light take you!
You missed.
Go for their hearts!
Strike as one.
Ember. Don't think I should be using that right now. But I can use that. They're immune. Okay.
Your time is over.
Still missing.
You won't survive me.
It's down.
No glory without risk!
I'll cut you wide open!
Attack!
Got him. Trap.
I hope you appreciate this. I am helpful, am I not?
Yeah. Where's the secret door? Alright, I'm the one with religious power, so let's try and treat some affliction here. Filth fever? That was exhausted, not a fever. Duh. I'm not trying to get to the swarm, they're dead. We are needing to go and sell things. An incomplete magic circle. Let's destroy it. And then we need to get out of here. And we are very slow. We need to get back to the tavern. I don't want to see the rat swarm stuff. Come on, get away from that. A bit of loot there. I think we head out now. Area exit right there. Wait, it's too great. So you can pick it up when you leave. It's a bit of a nonsense, but hey, that's fine. Just a quality of life thing. But if you're going to do that as a quality of life thing, then why not just make it so you don't have to drop it in the first place? Failed to sneak past.
Come at me, I dare you.
That was nice.
You've marched me to the bones today.
Don't worry about it. We're gonna be leaving and heading back to sell stuff. I'm super exhausted. Alright, in we go. Sell stuff up. Report about the Tower of Estrad as well.
Without a doubt.
Show me what you have. High damage +1. No one's going to use that. That is, yeah, fine. Lesser restoration. Shield of Faith, I'll never remember it. Less weapon. The harms. Now. Oh, you don't have enough for that. Actually, I can get 10 lesser restorations. Talk to her, Beth. Let her know about the Tower of Estrod. The demons plan on attacking the Defender's Heart very soon. Thanks for the warning. Knew it would happen. We didn't expect it so soon. Demons are highly chaotic and disorganized. Someone must be going to great lengths to gather them into a horde and smother the last pockets of resistance. We'll make sure that there are a few surprises in store for them. Annabeth pensively drums her fingers on her chin. My scouts in the city still haven't reported any movements of the demon hordes. Defender's Heart is safe, at least for now. I'll send a message. So I can't do any more about the Tower of Estrod just yet. Still 1200 and some shy of a level. Talk to Ninio. Girl, I am pleased with you. I asked you to bring me to safety and that's exactly what you did. Indeed, having a follower to aid me is most efficient and frankly pleasing. With you on hand, I shall conquer new horizons, plumb the depths of knowledge hitherto unknown, and scale the dizzying heights of future discoveries. Ninio stops to catch a breath. What I mean is, I'd like to express my deepest gratitude. I foresee immense potential in our future cooperation. Not sure I do, but okay, happy to help. Hand in hand, we will unravel the greatest mysteries inaccessible to the minds of ordinary people. Just imagine it, I leading the way, proudly staring into the face of the gods themselves, and you, my loyal follower, walking behind me every step of the way, writing down my deepest thoughts and admiring the profundity of my intellect. We hold hands. You won't be able to go in front of me and lead the way. You are the catalyst which, when it reacts with the intellect, will allow the latter to grasp the very essence of the universe itself. Do you always express yourself so effusively? What? Who are you? Ninio stares at you for a while, bewilderment in her eyes, but then it's replaced by recognition. Oh yes, my new follower. So, what am I supposed to do? Oh yes, I must provide some verbal encouragement for your as yet modest achievements, and try to induce you to strive for more such encouragement. That is a principle that underpins any training. She frowns, but only for an instant. I see. Your modest nature was unsettled by the overabundance of my gratitude. I do apologise for putting you at such an awkward position. I will never praise you again, unless I forget. But let's get back to the business at hand. Your new assignment will be to take me to the inconspicuous ruins that are located in an even more inconspicuous valley lying between Kenabres and Dresden, as soon as is reasonably practical. I will mark the place on your map with a large red cross, so you won't forget. What's so special about these ruins near Kenabres? I'm glad you asked. That is my greatest hypothesis, my secret project, and I won't pass up the opportunity to share it with you, because you are my most loyal follower, and you are worthy of possessing such knowledge. Ninio rubs her nose. She's a bit of a weirdo, isn't she? Not even a bit. And also because you are the first person to ever ask me about it. I'm not surprised. Some time ago I was walking around the border of the World Wound and I met a strange person. He was wearing a frayed grey robe and his face was hidden behind an odd white mask. I've met them. Of course, I didn't miss the opportunity to ask him about the reasons for his absurd appearance. And do you know what he said to me? He said, I am the answer, but what is the question? Then he walked off in the direction of the World Wound. The next day, after I had already forgotten about the first encounter, I had another similar encounter. This time I met an elven woman, judging by the pointed ear sticking out from behind the mask. I am the answer, but what is the question, she said before taking off toward the World Wound. And then I realised everything became clear to me. I know a mystery when I see one. Seeing something as a mystery is not the same as it becoming clear. In fact, it's the opposite. Consider this one of my myriad talents. Ninio rubs the tip of her nose. After all these geysers weren't simply on their way to a costume party, were they? After examining several maps, I determined that they were all heading in one direction, to a place not far from Kenabres, a place which is marked as nameless ruins, even on ancient Sarkorian maps. That's where I need to go. Unraveling the secret of the place will be my greatest discovery. It will secure my place in history, or perhaps even in legend. How do you know where we have to go? Do you know how to find a beehive in a forest? You need to catch 2 bees and set them free in 2 different locations of the forest, and remember the directions they fly in. Then you take a map and draw lines showing these bees' routes. The place where the lines intersect will mark the location of the beehive. Fascinating, yes? By the way, forest bees do not make any honey. Ninio sighs. I use the beehive principle here too. For a couple of months I tracked the strange people in the masks and observed the directions they were travelling. I collected the coordinates, mapped their estimated routes, and made a discovery. All the routes intersected at the nameless ruins not far from Kenabres. What do you expect to find there? I haven't the straightest. If I knew what was hidden there, I wouldn't be so eager to go. These ruins aren't very far from Kenabres. You could easily get there all by yourself. Why do you need me? Nenio's eyes seem ready to pop out of their sockets in surprise. Don't you see? This is a legendary secret place. Who knows what might happen after I lift the veil and uncover the workings of the universe? My mortal body may be unable to contain all that knowledge. Or perhaps I will ascend and become equal to the gods themselves. I need you to write down everything that happens and report my fate to the interested parties in Absalom. And don't forget to praise me as I deserve while you're there. You know, these ruins of yours might just turn out to be that, just ruins. Nenio shrugs. In that case, we'll write this experiment off as a failure and start another one. I don't know which experiment I'll try next. That's all I wanted to know about that nonsense. Well, now you know. So off we go. Nenio frowns. Did I just make a rhyme? Perhaps I've discovered poetic talent in myself. Let's conduct an experiment. Quickly. Say any word and I'll try to find a rhyme for it right away. Yeah, whatever. Not too clever, now or never. Oh, God. Not the best rhymes, don't you think? Well, this experiment was unsuccessful. We learned that I have no poetic talent after all. Nenio sighs. But it's no reason to despair. Having a gift of poetry in addition to my inexhaustible intelligence would have been a little too much. I am catastrophically busy, and I have no time to spend on writing poetry. Tell me about yourself. I am an explorer, a pilgrim, a yet-to-be-recognised scientific luminary, future author of the Encyclopaedia Galarianica, and rector of all Absalom's universities at once. Future rector, I should say. Neo speaks in one breath as if reeling off a practiced monologue. That information should be enough to satisfy your curiosity, because I doubt I will be able to tell you any more than that. You see, the brain of any given individual can only contain a limited amount of facts. I only expend my memory on those that are truly important. The laws of thermodynamics, divine esoterica, planar geography, things that will lead Galarian to a brighter future. Nenio rubs her nose. Besides, what if I make a great discovery but I won't be able to remember it because my memory is full of outdated or useless information? What a nightmare that would be. What a loss for the whole of Galarian. Okay. You've got a circle tattooed on your shoulder. What does it mean? Nenio casts a sidelong glance at her shoulder. Oh, that! I do not remember the circumstance of its creation, but I like it. I prefer to think of it as a zero, null, nothing. A centre point, an origin of coordinates. It reminds me of how much of the unknown world there is to explore. You don't remember how you got this tattoo? That information is irrelevant. I've decided to forget it. Okay, where are you from? That information is irrelevant. I've decided to forget it. How did you become a scientist? That information... Okay. How can you just forget important piece of information? This is just one of my many talents. The secret is to stop thinking about the thing you want to forget. And the main thing is not to remember anything you don't need. To filter it. To get right to the essence. I'll teach you someday, unless I forget. I won't torture with any more questions. Eh? What are we talking about? I'm not going to worry about calling me girl, frankly. I have to go. Nia produces a crumpled piece of paper from her sleeve and takes some notes on it. This conversation lasts approximately 5 minutes. She lifts her chin. By the way, did you know this is the exact amount of time The inquisitive Kenabres need to find a defendant guilty. But to shake off inquisitors chasing you takes 5 times as long. The experiment proved that running while clad in heavy armour is not burdensome for them at all. Yeah. She's insane. The elf in front of you is young, still adolescent. It's our girl Ember. By the standards of their long-lived folk, a childish, carefree smile plays on her face, and her wandering eyes linger on you for just a moment before darting off into the distance. Terrible scars cover her body, and a few of her fingers are missing. Ew. A crow sits on her shoulder, observing you with its clever black eyes. Tell me about yourself. Well, they call me Ember. I used to live in the River City, and now I walk with you. That's my story. It's a very concise version. Why do they call you Ember? I've had many names. When I was little, Mum and Dad called me Dove or Cricket or Kitten. Dad called me his little ray of sunshine. And when Mum was cross, she called me by a long name, a grown-up one. I can't remember it, no matter how hard I try. That might be a good thing. Then when I came to live in the River City, the good people called me different funny names, like Ember or Torch or Smoky. I don't know why. They called me Birdbrain because I have a crow. I'm not sure that's why. They called me Lucky 7 because of my fingers. She raises her hands. The middle finger on her right hand and the 2 smaller fingers on her left are missing. They sometimes called me Grilled Meat and said I was stupid, but I didn't feel hurt. I mean, they're right. I really am silly. They didn't mean to hurt me. I like Ember. It's a good word. Embers are like people. On the outside they're grey and cold like stones, but they're warm inside. You can blow on them and they'll start a fire to help you survive in a cold night. And that's wonderful, isn't it? Ember it is. Fair enough. Where are you from? Far away, from the flower country. The girl gestures vaguely off in the distance. It's so beautiful there. Everywhere there's flowers blooming, gold towers and waterfalls. And everyone is like me with pointy ears. There's no round-eared people. No short ones, no horned heads. We lived there together, me and my mum and dad. Mum and Dad argued a lot. Dad used to say all the good people should go on the crusade and fight the demons. And Mum said he was silly because it was so far away and none of our business. And that he shouldn't abandon his child. She meant me. But he didn't abandon me. He took me along. He said I was born the same year that the hole in the demon world opened. He said it was a sign that I would be one of the heroes to close it. Of course I'm not a hero, but I'm always here. Anyway, helping as much as I can. Just keep helping and you'll be a hero in time. And if you don't want that title, that's fine too, Ember. Where did you get your scars? It happened by accident. My dad and I came sailing down the river to join the crusade. Dad said that all good people were going to the world wound to heal it. He said that the crusaders were the best people in the world and together we were going to win. But when we arrived at the River City, the crusaders got everything mixed up. They thought my dad and I were bad and decided to burn us at the stake. Dad died and I cried so loudly that one of the good knights realised it was all a big mistake. He started yelling at the other crusaders, even the one in charge, and then walked right into the fire and got me out. The others wanted to stop him, but he took out his sword and scared them away. The kind knight took me to a healer. Later I learned that while the knight was pulling me from the flames, he himself was burned so badly that he died not long after. But I'm still alive. A few fingers missing and my skin is funny. I've lived in River City ever since. I never had my own house, but I had many friends. And then the demons came, and I met you, and you know what happened after that. So Holden tried to kill you. Great. Is it really so easy for you to forgive them? I'm not sure I could be so merciful. No one can say how much good or evil they have in them. No one can see into their own soul. Ember smiles and tilts her head. Her inquisitive look wanders over your face as if she's trying to look into your soul. No one knows until it's time to check. True, but that doesn't mean you let them burn you to death. Do you worship any deity, Ember? The girl shakes her head with an unwavering smile. Dad taught me to pray to Iomade. He said she was a kind goddess, and she called people to crusade against evil. The knights who burned my dad and me worshipped her too. They even lit the fire with a prayer to her. Yeah. And she did nothing to help. But then one kind night alone, without any gods, changed his mind and saved me. I think the gods are the same as us. They don't understand anything, and they're scared of everything, so they hurt themselves and the rest of us. People worship the gods only because they're afraid of being responsible for themselves. And the gods listen to their praise, and they become smug and arrogant, and begin to believe that they're better than us. But they're no better. They're silly sinners like the rest of us. Sometimes I pray to the gods. Different ones. The good ones, the bad ones. I ask them to stop. Stop fighting and hurting each other. I don't know if they ever hear me, but if they do, I mean, the knight who wanted to burn me. He was able to change his mind and do a good deed. If he can change, maybe Baphomet can too. I think that's it. How did you survive on the streets? The elf shrugs. There are many good people in the river city. When I sang for them in the street, they'd offer me coins or bread, or sometimes even clothes. I shared everything with the other homeless, and they showed me where it was safe to sleep. Where I could get out of the rain and cold. Where I could find discarded things. When the demons destroyed the river city, I looked for my friends, but I found no one. They probably all died. The homeless have no supplies or weapons or basements to hide in. And the knights won't protect them. Knights are like gods, so self-important. They're saving the world after all. What do they care about the homeless? Still smiling, the girl shrugs. Where do you get your magical powers from? These tricks, I learned them from my grandma. She used to be my father's grandma, before that his father's. I've never seen her myself, but she's very clever and kind. When I lived on the street, sometimes she left food for me or a blanket in the winter. Sometimes I feel her stroking my hair as I fall asleep. But if I open my eyes, there's no one near. She also sent me soot. She scratches the crow's beak, and the bird grumbles happily in response. She tells Soot how to do different tricks, and Soot teaches me. It appears that Ember doesn't know who exactly gives her these powers, but you can guess from her words that her patron is Andaletta, a powerful Archon, one of the Imperial Lords, also known as Grandmother Crow. Thanks for your answers, Ember. You're always so cheerful. How do you manage to remain so hopeful when we've been surrounded by such horror? Hope? She tilts her head and continues with a smile. No. Hope is a lie. What should we hope for? This world is in the hands of demons. The gods can't help, or they don't want to. And they forget about us altogether. The people know they're about to be eaten by demons, but still they quarrel with each other and fight and steal. There is no hope. Only us. We'll have to win without hope. It will be hard. The entire abyss is against us. We can only win by some miracle, which means we'll have to make one happen. What other choice do we have? We'll work a miracle and win, because we have to. The elf smiles broadly and nods to herself. I have to go, Ember. So go. The elf watches you with a radiant smile as you leave. Yeah, she's a strange one too. Not as annoying as an Enio, though. Over 368. The blind elf looks better than he did in your last encounter. His clothes are clean and his pale face has some colour. The elf turns to you and listens closely. Is that you, my saviour? I recognise your footsteps. Determined footsteps befitting a determined person. Allow me to thank you again for saving me. Please accept this humble gift as a token of my appreciation. The elf hands you a small black ring with 2 scarlet runes on it. Erebeth has explained why you were looking for me. I warned the authorities of Kenabres that the local wardstone has been desecrated. They waved off my warning and paid for their inaction. I've examined many wardstones, but only in the one guarding Kenabres did I sense a flaw, a spot of corruption inside, a vulnerability the demons will surely use. They are able to spread the blight inside the wardstone, corrupt it, and make it their weapon. It frightens me to think what they will be capable of. The wardstone must be destroyed. Who are you, and why did they let you examine the wardstone? The elf smiles. I am the storyteller, just an old elf, and a bit more. I am old even for an elf. I've seen many things, and been to many places. Not so long ago I witnessed the making of a young kingdom in the Stolen Lands, led by a remarkable and promising individual. My advice on the complicated matter, of conquering those lands proved useful to that leader. This is not uncommon for me. Some seek my advice or services, and I don't refuse. This is how I acquired my reputation as an old vagrant who never hurt anyone, stayed out of others' squabbles, but sometimes gave good advice. I had a few friends in Nerosian who vouched for my integrity. This is why my humble request to be allowed to use the Wardstone was granted. I visited all of them, but only found cause for alarm in Kenabres. Do you wield some special magic power, some instinct? Storyteller chuckles. Yes, to a certain extent. But it is more of a gift. I can see the past. Stories that have happened. I touch an object and shreds of its owner's memories are revealed to my mind. Their emotions, passions and tragedies. I see visions like I am them. And their stories happen to me. And this is my power. I've been roaming the world gathering such stories for many thousands of years. One day, I will gather them all. But aren't they more created faster than you can travel? What blight is concealed in the Wardstone? I'm afraid I don't have an answer for that question. To understand the nature of this blight, we need to understand how the Wardstone was created, and it is hidden from me. I can only guess. Have you heard of the Red Morning Massacre? A dreadful morning remembered with fear even by those not yet born at the time. A demoness called Minago invaded the city with a crowd of her followers and started to do what demons do best, kill and desecrate. They say they covered the Wardstone with pieces of dead bodies, splashed it with blood from top to bottom. Could such an abomination darken the radiance of the gift of Ayamde herself? The locals think it is impossible, but who knows? It was not the last attack. Many demon leaders brought their unholy forces here, even the terrifying Baelor Karamzadeh. Their attacks were rebuffed, but they still reached their target. I think this is when the seed of corruption was planted in the stone. It wouldn't have grown on its own, but Iscari himself has now come to take advantage of this weakness, to open the abscess that has been festering for years, unnoticed by people of Kenabres. And when the demon lord struck the blow, the weakened stone gave in. Now it's in demon hands, and nothing is stopping them from spreading the blight throughout the entire stone, and from it to the other stones along the perimeter of the Worldwound. Why did you travel to the Wardstones? I tried to see their stories. The visions I had when I touched the Wardstones were unclear. I saw hundreds, maybe thousands of different stories at the same time. They followed each other like flashes of lightning. It was impossible to separate them. I couldn't understand where one of them ended and the next began. I have heard you, storyteller. In that case, you must make every possible effort to destroy the corruption. Unfortunately, I don't know where to get an instrument powerful enough to banish it from the Wardstones. As far as I know, there is nothing like it in Kenabres, but the demons might have something. I heard the dying roar of Terendlev, the silver dragon, the protector of the city. At the same time, I felt a wave of unfamiliar power sweep over me from head to toe. I would advise you to go where Terendlev perished, and search there for something. I'm sorry, I can't be more specific. But intuition and a strange sense of rightness tell me to point you there. Well, I don't need him to remind me of that. Is there any way I can help you, storyteller? The storyteller nods gratefully. I appreciate your offer. I have reason to believe that somewhere in Kenabres there is a manuscript authored by an elf from Keonin who witnessed Earthfall. The storyteller's voice suddenly breaks and he stops for a moment. For personal reasons, I would like to examine it, but no matter how hard I try, I have failed to find it. Even in the Blackwing Library, I have found only a mention that the manuscript exists, and is held somewhere in the city. I assume it's stored at the Grey Garrison. They wouldn't let me into the archive when I visited. All those crusaders were nervous about the strange blind elf interested in their secrets. It's understandable. The crusade naturally made them a little paranoid. But now the Grey Garrison has fallen into enemy hands. I would be grateful if I could see the manuscript. No more about you? I'm not surprised. Strange, peculiar-looking elf with unusual powers, who comes from afar and calls himself a collector of stories. Such things usually spark some interest. You've told me that, haven't you? Oh, before I would have asked where he's from. For I was said I'm a blacksmith from Kionin, who lost his sight and then found his true calling in a new craft, that of a story collector. But I have lately begun to suspect that those words are no more than a lie. The old elf chuckled sadly. It's quite the irony. I never thought I'd have cause to complain about my memory. It holds the stories of the entire world, but I've noticed more and more alarming signs recently. I encounter ancient stories and see myself in them. I don't remember those events, but stories cannot lie. So it means that my memory is lying. I intend to get to the bottom of it. I'm looking for proof that my visions are true. And that's the reason why my past has been hidden from me. You look ancient. I thought elves didn't get old. The blind man straightens his bony back with dignity. As you can see, we do if we manage to live for many thousands of years. There may not be a single mortal in this world older than me. Storyteller sighs and continues with a sad smile. Anyway, it's not about time. It's about the stories I keep inside. There is so much suffering and sadness in the world. And in my stories too. I've lived every one of them. I've drunk their bitter experience and accepted it into my heart. It's hard. The weight of all this suffering on my shoulder. But I wouldn't trade my burden for any other. Where did you get your strange powers? The storyteller shrugs. I've always got along well with things. I used to be a blacksmith, but I know that I know for sure. I've always felt the essence of things, their spirit. For as long as I can remember, I have always been able to find the traces of memories and feelings left on things by their former owner. I don't know where this gift comes from. Maybe having taken my sight, the gods granted me another sense. It's always possible. I came searching for truth about my real past, brought me here. Saw myself in other stories. In them I was called the elf in the tower. Now I'm looking for this tower, my tower, and everywhere. I've been to many places. I've visited islands and deserts, but I haven't found it. There are very few uncharted territories on the map. The World Wound is one of them. How do you collect stories? The same way a court philanderer collects his conquests, the way a healer has a personal cemetery of patients he failed to save, the way every person, including you, has a box of secrets, most precious experiences, deep down in their soul, and no one is allowed to touch. The world is not made of things or even matter, it's made of stories. They move from the past to the future, piercing the world at the point of here and now. They give meaning to everything. And they are the meaning, and everything else is only the setting required for stories to exist. There is nothing more real and alive than story. And anything real and alive can die or be destroyed, distorted, forgotten, but as long as I carry these stories with me, they will not be lost. This is why I don't often share my stories. By sharing one with you, I give you the right to tell it to others, to distort and embellish it inadvertently or advertently. How can I be sure you will keep the original purity? Stories travel from one person to another. They change, become distorted, turn into tall tales. This is why I keep the stories to myself. Yeah, but what if you die? What, they all be lost now? No more questions. I don't think there's anything about the Blackwing I need to know. And you've told me why we need to cleanse that. I have to go. I wish you interesting adventures. And I'm sure we'll be back to talk to him sometime. In the meantime, I haven't spoken to Hylor about Finian, have I? Do you know anything about a Pathfinder named Finian Dismar? Hylor rubs his chin. Let me think. Dismar. I've definitely heard the name before. Of course you have. I'm a Pathfinder too. So you're the chief in these lands now. What about Lady Ari? When I left for the wound, she had just taken up the position. Hylor examines the talking weapon and chuckles sadly. I'm afraid Ari perished during the Third Crusade. Yes, now I remember. Finian Dismar went missing in the wound at the end of the Second Crusade. His name has been on the list of the fallen for a while. Here I am, alive and well. Write in your list that I'm back, and soon I'll file a detailed report about everything that happened to me. Finian's voice is full of joy. I knew it was a misunderstanding, but now everything will return to normal. I need to write to my folks, and they probably think I'm dead too. Ilo shakes his head sadly. Poor lad. Such is the fate of a Pathfinder. We face the unknown, and sometimes the unknown wins. Our minds cannot take it. Right, and that, my friends, is the end for today. Join us tomorrow when we'll head back to the city.
Thanks for watching, for being around, for every message, reaction, all the joy we found. To the quiet, the loud, the sharp and the sly, you're the reason I'm leaving with my spirits high. So hit like, leave a word or tap that sub. If you laugh, cry to mock my stuff. Every click helps the channel grow and lets me keep on with the show.